Imagine a world where time seems to slow down, where the rush and clamor of modern life fade into a distant memory. In this tranquil realm, the past is not forgotten but preserved in every breath, every step, every moment lived with simplicity and purpose. This is the world of the Mennonites, a community steadfast in their choice to live much as people did in the 19th century, embracing a lifestyle untouched by the flicker of screens, the hum of machines, and the endless chase for modern convenience. The story of the Mennonites begins in a time of great religious upheaval, during the early 16th century in Europe. The Reformation was sweeping across the continent, challenging centuries-old traditions, and calling for a return to the core principles of faith and piety. It was in this climate that Menno Simons, a former Catholic priest turned reformer, emerged as a guiding light for a group of believers seeking a deeper, more personal relationship with their faith. Menno Simons and his followers were part of the Anabaptist movement, which taught adult baptism as a conscious choice of faith rather than infant baptism. Their beliefs were radical for the time, emphasizing pacifism, simplicity, community living, and a separation from worldly powers. These core values set the foundation for what would become the Mennonite way of life. Persecuted for their convictions, the Mennonites faced hostility and displacement. Yet, their resilience and commitment to their beliefs never wavered. Over the centuries, they migrated from Europe, seeking refuge and freedom in distant lands. Their journey led them across oceans to North America, where vast stretches of fertile land awaited them. Here, in the wide-open spaces of Canada, the United States, Mexico, and beyond, the Mennonites established communities that preserved their traditions and values. They built homes with sturdy wooden frames, cultivated fields with hand tools, and lived without the comforts of electricity, automobiles, or modern communication. Despite living parallel to contemporary society, the Mennonites chose to maintain a purposeful distance, crafting a world that honors the simpler rhythms of life. Their days begin with the rising sun and end with the quiet falling of dusk, marked by collective prayers, shared meals, and the labor that sustains them. Their clothing tells a story of modesty and humility. Men wear broad-brimmed hats and plain suits, while women don long dresses and bonnets, all handmade and unadorned, reflecting their values of nonconformity and devotion. Every stitch, every fabric choice, echoes centuries of tradition passed down through generations. Education within the Mennonite community focuses not on modern technologies but on practical skills, ethical teachings, and the nurturing of a close-knit society. Children learn to work the land, care for animals, and uphold the principles that define their identity. This way of life is not merely a resistance to change but a deliberate embrace of a philosophy that values peace, community, and faith above material progress. It challenges us to reflect on what truly matters in our own fast-paced world. As we begin this journey into the heart of the Mennonite experience, we invite you to step back in time, to leave behind the noise and haste, and to discover the beauty and wisdom found in living simply, faithfully, and together. Through these next hours, we will explore the origins, the daily rhythms, the beliefs, and the enduring spirit of a people who choose to let the 19th century live on in their homes, their work, and their hearts. What lessons do they hold for us? How does their steadfastness inspire a deeper understanding of community and purpose? Let us begin this story with an open mind and a quiet heart, ready to listen and learn from a world that keeps the past alive, not as a relic, but as a living, breathing way of life. The Mennonites, despite their journey across continents and centuries, have never lost sight of the values that define their existence. Their faith, rooted deeply in the teachings of love, humility, and service, remains the cornerstone of their community. It is through this unwavering foundation that their way of life persists against the currents of change. Their settlements are more than mere collections of houses, they are living expressions of a philosophy that honors the earth and the human spirit equally. Fields stretch wide and fertile, tended with care and respect, yielding crops through the seasons as they have for generations. These lands are not just sources of food and livelihood but are symbols of a covenant between the people and the world they inhabit. Daily life begins in the quiet moments before dawn, when the first light brushes the horizon. Families rise with purpose, preparing for a day filled with meaningful work and communal connection. Children, taught from an early age to contribute, join their elders in the fields or workshops, learning skills that have been passed down as vital threads in the fabric of their culture. Without the distractions of modern technology, the pace of life is measured and intentional. Conversations unfold without interruption, bonds deepen, and time is devoted to reflection and shared experience. The absence of screens is replaced by the presence of one another, fostering a sense of belonging that stretches beyond the individual to the collective whole. Work itself is approached not as a burden but as a form of devotion. Whether tilling the soil, raising livestock, or crafting goods by hand, each task is performed with care and gratitude. The fruits of their labor are not only for sustenance but also for the validation of a life lived in harmony with nature and each other. This sacred relationship between work and faith shapes every aspect of the Mennonite existence. In their gatherings, the Mennonites celebrate simplicity and sincerity. Their places of worship are humble, absent of grandiose decoration, focusing attention on the spoken word and communal prayer. Hymns, sung without the accompaniment of instruments, resonate with heartfelt devotion, creating a space where the spiritual bonds among the congregation are renewed. Education is similarly grounded in practical realities and moral teachings. Children do not pursue the vast expanses of modern academia but instead immerse themselves in lessons that prepare them to be competent, compassionate members of their community. Literacy is valued, but it is always tied closely to scripture and the traditions that sustain their identity. The passing down of knowledge is a shared responsibility. Elders guide the youth, not only through formal lessons but by example and storytelling. Stories of hardship, faith, and perseverance are woven into the daily narrative, strengthening the sense of continuity and belonging. Their attire reflects an ethos of humility and unity. Fabrics are often woven by hand, in muted colors that blend with the natural environment. The consistency in dress fosters a visual reminder that individuality is secondary to the collective, a way to express devotion through the absence of vanity. While the world beyond their settlement surges with technological marvels and rapid change, the Mennonites hold firmly to their convictions. They reject electricity, automobiles, and other modern conveniences not out of fear but out of a resolve to maintain the integrity of their way of life. This resistance is not static but dynamic, reflecting a deep consideration of what it means to live faithfully and ethically in a changing world. At times, this path requires sacrifice and courage. The pressures of the outside world, the lure of convenience, the demands of integration test the strength of their traditions. Yet, the Mennonites persist, grounded in a vision of community where peace, mutual aid, and respect are the guiding principles. Their story is not one of isolation but of intentional choice. It invites us to reconsider the definitions of progress and success. In a society that often measures worth by speed, wealth, and innovation, the Mennonite way offers a mirror reflecting the value of slowing down, of prioritizing relationships and spiritual well-being over material accumulation. As the seasons turn, so too does the rhythm of life within these communities. There is a harmony between human endeavor and natural cycles that marks their existence. Planting in spring, harvesting in autumn, resting in winter, each phase is embraced fully, as part of a larger whole. Meals are shared affairs, occasions for togetherness and gratitude. The food is simple, often grown by their own hands, prepared with care and respect for the sustenance it provides. Around the table, stories unfold, laughter fills the air, and the bonds that sustain the community are renewed. In moments of quiet, when the day's labors have ended, and the sun sets beyond the fields, a profound stillness descends. It is in these moments that the essence of the Mennonite spirit is most palpable, a deep sense of peace, a connection to something greater, and an enduring hope for the future. This community, living as if untouched by time, holds lessons that resonate far beyond their fields and houses. They remind us of the power of faith lived out in daily actions, the resilience built through shared purpose, and the beauty found in simplicity. As the world spins ever faster, the Mennonites stand as a quiet testament to the possibility of a different way. A way that honors the past while living fully in the present, a way shaped by values that transcend the age of technology and noise. To understand the Mennonites is to explore the depths of human commitment and the enduring strength of community. It is an invitation to pause and reflect on what it means to live with intention, to care for one another, and to uphold a vision of peace in a turbulent world. Their existence challenges us to look beyond convenience and question what truly brings fulfillment. In the silence of their homesteads and the rhythm of their days, we find a powerful story of hope, endurance, and grace. As this narrative unfolds, allow yourself to be drawn into their world, to experience the subtle beauty of a life where faith and simplicity guide every step. Let their story wash over you like a gentle breeze, calming and steadying the mind, transporting you across time and space. This is not just a tale of survival but of thriving in a manner that honors both the earth and the spirit. In the unfolding chapters, the enduring legacy of the Mennonites comes alive through the details of their daily lives, their steadfast beliefs, and the quiet power of community. Through the lens of their experience, we gain insight into the profound human desire for connection and meaning. Theirs is a way of life that resonates deeply, inviting reflection and offering solace in a world often marked by chaos and rapid change. As we continue, the pages of history open wide, revealing the trials and triumphs that have shaped this remarkable community. From humble beginnings to the present day, the story of the Mennonites is a testament to the strength found in living true to one's values. Theirs is a legacy etched into the land itself, carried in the hands and hearts of those who tend it. It is a story of faithfulness that defies time and circumstance, a living reminder that sometimes the greatest progress is found in the places where time seems to stand still. And so, as the sun climbs higher, casting light across the fields and faces of the Mennonite community, we witness a world both familiar and extraordinary. A world where history breathes and lives, where every moment is an opportunity to embody a way of life rooted in peace, purpose, and profound simplicity. The journey continues, gently unfolding with the turning of the seasons and the steadfast hearts of a people who have chosen to walk a timeless path. In their story, there is much to learn and much to cherish. Let us stay a while longer, listening to the whispered wisdom of a life lived close to the earth, guided by faith, clothed in simplicity, and bound by an unbreakable sense of community. Here, in the quiet corners of the world, the Mennonites carry forward a vision of life that challenges and inspires, inviting us all to reconsider what it means to be truly human. Within the quiet boundaries of their communities, the Mennonites cultivate a unique relationship with the land, a partnership grounded in respect, stewardship, and sustainability. Unlike modern agricultural practices that often prioritize quantity over quality, the Mennonites approach farming as a sacred duty. They work the soil with hands calloused by years of careful labor, mindful of the delicate balance between human need and natural cycles. Their fields are alive with seasonal rhythm, echoing the ancient pulse of the earth. In spring, seeds are sown with hopeful anticipation. In summer, crops are tended with unwavering diligence. Come autumn, the harvest brings a collective celebration of bounty and gratitude. Winters invite rest and reflection, a time when the land sleeps beneath a blanket of snow, and the community gathers inside simple homes to draw warmth from one another. This cyclical engagement with the environment teaches lessons far beyond the practicalities of agriculture. It embodies a philosophy that sees humans not as masters of nature but as humble participants in its ongoing story. Every seed planted, every row tilled, every animal cared for is a testament to patience, persistence, and profound reverence. Such an outlook shapes not only their work but also their daily interactions. Hospitality, generosity, and mutual aid are more than social customs, they are ethical imperatives that knit the community tightly together. In times of hardship or joy, neighbors share freely, confident in the knowledge that support will always be reciprocated. This spirit of communal care extends to the youngest among them. Children grow within this nurturing network, raised by the entire community as much as by their own families. Teaching them not only practical skills but also the values of kindness, faithfulness, and service ensures that the legacy of the Mennonites lives on with strength and clarity. Their schools might seem modest by modern standards, often a single room with a few simple desks, but within these walls, rich learning takes place. The curriculum, deeply intertwined with scripture and tradition, fosters a sense of identity and purpose. Rather than chasing technological advancement, education here nurtures grounded, thoughtful individuals ready to embrace a life of meaning and contribution. While the rest of the world races forward, the Mennonites resist the lure of instant gratification and relentless innovation. Their rejection of automobiles, electricity, and digital technology might seem puzzling to outsiders, yet within this choice lies a profound statement about values. It challenges the notion that progress is solely measured by material gain or speed. Instead, they measure progress by the strength of their bonds, the health of their land, and the depth of their faith. This alternative vision asks a fundamental question: what does it mean to lead a good life? For the Mennonites, the answer lies in quiet labor, in community, and in spiritual devotion. This way of life comes with sacrifices, of course. The convenience of motor vehicles or electric appliances is willingly set aside. In a world where immediate communication often dominates, Mennonites choose slower, more personal methods, handwritten letters, face-to-face conversations, and gatherings that draw spirit and connection. Yet in these choices, there is a freedom that few outside can imagine. Freed from the incessant demands of technology, their lives open space for contemplation, genuine relationships, and the cultivation of inner peace. They show us, perhaps, that less can indeed be more. Their faith calls them to live simply, to be peacemakers in both word and deed. Pacifism is not merely an abstract ideal but a lived reality, affecting their responses to conflict and their engagement with the wider world. Refusing to bear arms or participate in violence reflects a deep commitment to the sanctity of all life. Community governance, too, reflects this ethos of shared responsibility and humility. Decisions are often made collectively, with respect given to the wisdom of elders and the consensus of members. This approach fosters harmony and mitigates the divisiveness that can arise in larger, more individualistic societies. While some Mennonite groups are more accommodating of technology and outside influence, the communities that remain firmly rooted in traditional ways serve as living museums of a bygone era. Yet they are far from static relics. Their culture is vibrant, adaptive, and alive. Cultural celebrations, while modest, mark the passage of time and the affirmation of faith. Weddings, baptisms, and other rites of passage are communal affairs suffused with joy and reverence. Music, though simple and unaccompanied, carries the weight of centuries of belief and shared experience. Despite their deliberate separation, Mennonites have long engaged in commerce and trade, supporting their communities while maintaining independence. Craftsmanship shines in their handmade goods, furniture, quilts, tools that often find their way beyond the settlement borders, admired for their quality and care. The Mennonite story is also one of migration and resilience. Over the centuries, waves of Mennonites have moved in search of religious freedom, better farming conditions, or to escape persecution. Each migration brought challenges but also renewal, as communities adapted to new lands while preserving their core values. Their presence spans continents, now from the farmlands of North America to remote regions in South America and beyond. Though distant in geography, these communities remain connected by shared faith and tradition, a bond that transcends miles and languages. Their resilience is perhaps most evident in how they face external pressures. In societies increasingly shaped by globalization and digital connectivity, their choice to maintain boundaries is a form of quiet resistance. It demands steadfastness and a willingness to prioritize what they hold dear above convenience or acceptance. Yet this resistance is not isolation. Mennonites engage carefully and selectively with the world around them, trading goods, participating in charitable work, and sometimes collaborating with neighboring communities. This balance between separation and interaction requires constant vigilance and wise discernment. Their stories speak to universal themes of belonging, faith, and the search for meaning. They remind us that amidst relentless change, certain values endure. Patience, humility, community, and devotion continue to shape lives in profound ways. In their homes, families gather not around screens but around shared stories, prayers, and the warmth of human presence. This simple practice nurtures connections that modern life often disrupts, creating a foundation of trust and love. The architecture of their settlements reflects these priorities as well. Structures are functional and enduring, built with labor born of care and tradition. The use of natural materials and time-tested techniques ensures that buildings blend harmoniously with the environment. Walking through a Mennonite village, one experiences a sensory world shaped by nature and human hands rather than by machines. The sounds of birdsong, the rustle of leaves, and the rhythmic percussion of daily work form a gentle soundtrack to life. Their diet, too, is shaped by what the earth provides: fresh vegetables, grains, dairy products, and meats from animals raised with respect and care. Recipes passed down through generations reflect simplicity yet nourishment, echoing their values in culinary form. Children are often seen playing amidst fields and forests, their games reflective of an environment free from digital distraction. Their laughter rings clear, a testament to the joy found in unrestricted connection to the natural world. The cycle of life is honored through rituals of birth, growth, marriage, and death, each observed with a solemn yet hopeful tone. These rites reinforce community bonds and provide meaning through continuity. Despite the outward calm, the Mennonite way is not without challenges. Balancing tradition and modern realities requires constant negotiation. Youth sometimes face tension between the allure of the outside world and the demands of their heritage. Yet the elders remain custodians of wisdom, guiding younger generations through example and counsel. This mentorship sustains the integrity of the community across time. Their language and customs serve as anchors in a sea of change. Songs, prayers, and stories keep alive a cultural memory that transcends mere survival, flourishing instead as vibrant identity. In all these aspects, the Mennonites offer a profound meditation on the meaning of time, community, and faith. Their lives invite us to slow down, to observe more closely what matters, and to consider how we might nurture similar values in our own lives. As night falls softly over their fields, a final quiet descends. In the stillness, the enduring spirit of the Mennonites whispers a timeless message, that peace is found not in haste or accumulation but in a simple, faithful life shared together. Allow this story to linger in your mind, a call not only to witness but to understand, offering a gentle guide for those seeking depth and calm in a restless world. The Mennonite way of life, deeply rooted in faith and tradition, invites us to reconsider our own relationship with time and technology. In a world that constantly demands faster, bigger, and more, they have chosen a path marked by patience, restraint, and a profound respect for the natural order. Every day unfolds with intention, shaped by the cycles of the earth and the rhythms passed down through generations. The early morning light beckons them to rise, to tend to their chores with a calm sense of purpose. Animal care, fieldwork, cooking, and crafting are not mere tasks but acts of devotion, weaving together the fabric of their community. Family life is central, yet it extends beyond the physical household. The collective spirit permeates every interaction, reinforcing bonds and providing a network of support. Celebrations, whether of milestones or seasons, are occasions for shared joy, stories, and gratitude. This approach to living challenges prevailing notions of success and progress. Instead of accumulation and constant growth, the Mennonites embrace sufficiency and contentment. They value relationships over possessions and prioritize spiritual well-being over material wealth. Their homes, modest and welcoming, are sanctuaries of peace amid a world often marked by noise and distraction. Within these spaces, simple pleasures, a well-tended garden, the warmth of a wood stove, the sound of shared laughter take on deep significance. The crafts practiced by the Mennonites serve both functional and symbolic purposes. Handmade furniture, quilts, and tools not only meet everyday needs but also express the community's commitment to quality, patience, and beauty without excess. Education, while rejecting many modern trappings, remains vibrant and essential. Children learn not only reading and writing but also the stories, songs, and practices that bind their culture. They are taught to live both mindfully and morally, equipped to contribute with humility and competence. The Mennonite aversion to certain technologies, particularly those that isolate or disrupt community, underscores their priority for interpersonal connection. Their preference for face-to-face conversation, shared work, and communal worship reflects a belief that true human fulfillment arises in relationship. When conflict arises, their pacifist convictions guide peaceful resolution. This commitment to nonviolence extends beyond individual behavior to community policies and interactions with the outside world. Their stance has earned both respect and misunderstanding but stands as a testament to enduring principles. Their governance structures favor consensus and inclusivity, with strong roles for elders and collective decision-making. This model fosters a sense of shared responsibility and minimizes the divisiveness seen in many modern political systems. Culturally, music and storytelling remain vital threads. Their hymns, simple and heartfelt, echo centuries of devotion. Stories of faith and endurance inform identity, passed from elder to child like precious gifts. Even as they remain apart in many ways, Mennonites engage economically with broader society through trade and craftsmanship. Their products are sought after for their quality and integrity, a bridge between their world and ours. Throughout history, they have faced displacement and hardship. Their migrations have been journeys of survival and renewal, adapting to new environments while safeguarding core beliefs. Each community tells a story of resilience in the face of change. Today, their presence across continents is a living reminder of persistence in faith and tradition. Despite varied contexts, their shared values knit them together, offering a global network of mutual support. Their steady resistance to the quickening pace of modern life offers a quiet critique of contemporary culture. It asks us to question what we might gain by slowing down, by focusing more on connection and less on consumption. Children playing freely in open fields, artisans crafting with care, families gathering in warm homes, these images present an alternative vision of what it means to live well. In a world overwhelmed by noise and haste, the Mennonite experience holds a deep and gentle wisdom. It teaches that simplicity can be profound, that community can be a source of strength, and that faith can sustain through all trials. Their story invites us to pause, to listen, and to reflect on our own choices. It is a story not confined to the past but alive and relevant today. Rest within the calm rhythms of their lives, and perhaps you will find a trace of peace that the modern world so often withholds. Let the enduring spirit of the Mennonites illuminate the path not just theirs, but all who seek a more intentional, connected way of being. As twilight deepens, the quiet persistence of this community whispers of hope, faith, and the beauty of a life lived simply and well. May this story stay with you, a balm for the restless mind and a beacon for those longing to slow the relentless march of time. Let us continue to listen and learn, journeying ever deeper into the heart of a people who live out their convictions with grace and steadfastness. Together, we walk further into the quiet world of the Mennonites, where every moment is a prayer, every action a testament, and every life a living legacy. Deep within the fabric of the Mennonite community lies a profound dedication to the sacredness of everyday life. Each task undertaken, each tradition upheld, is an act of reverence, a thread woven deliberately into the tapestry of their shared existence. It is a perspective that transforms the mundane into the holy, inviting us to witness the extraordinary in what might otherwise be overlooked. Their homes, constructed with care and humility, stand as symbols of endurance and simplicity. Built largely with their own hands using traditional methods, these structures harmonize with the land around them. The natural materials, wood, stone, and clay reflect a commitment to sustainability and stewardship. Unlike the rapid building and tearing down seen in much of the modern world, these homes are built to last, with patience and skill that speak to a slower, more thoughtful way of living. The gardens and fields that surround these homes are cultivated with similar care. Crop rotation, careful soil management, and the use of organic fertilizers are common practices, guided by a deep understanding of nature's rhythms. These agricultural choices ensure that the land remains fertile and productive for generations to come. In the absence of machinery, farm work is labor-intensive, but this labor is infused with meaning. It is a daily meditation, a connection to the earth that fosters humility and gratitude. Hands that sow and reap over years develop wisdom and a profound awareness of the cycles of life. Families rise early, greeted by the gentle light of dawn, and gather for morning devotions. These moments of prayer and reflection form the spiritual heartbeat of the day, grounding every individual in a community of faith. The cadence of scripture reading, singing, and silent contemplation weaves through their lives with comforting regularity. Meals, shared communally when possible, provide opportunities for fellowship and thanksgiving. The simplicity of the food, fresh vegetables, homemade bread, dairy products from carefully tended animals reflects the values of modesty and self-sufficiency. Each bite carries with it the fruits of patient labor, the generosity of the earth, and the spirit of communal sharing. Parents teach children not only practical skills but also the values that underpin their society: humility, service, peacemaking, and a deep respect for life. Education extends beyond the classroom, as lessons are absorbed through observation, participation, and storytelling. The silence of evenings is often filled with song a cappella hymns that bind past and present. The simplicity of these melodies belies a depth of emotion and faith, resonating through homes and meeting houses to uplift spirits and affirm communal bonds. The Mennonites' commitment to pacifism, a core tenet of their faith, shapes not only their personal lives but also their communal interactions. This dedication to peace leads them to reject violence in all forms and to seek reconciliation and harmony in conflicts. Their neutrality during times of war has, at times, led to persecution, yet their steadfastness remains unshaken. Governance within the community operates on principles of consensus and shared responsibility. Elders guide decisions with wisdom drawn from years of experience, yet all voices are heard and respected. This system fosters unity and allows for challenges to be addressed in ways that strengthen communal ties rather than fracture them. Social gatherings serve as vital moments for connection and cultural continuity. Community picnics, weddings, and religious festivals draw people together, reinforcing identity and shared purpose. These celebrations, though restrained in extravagance, overflow with warmth and significance. Their attire, simple and uniform, reinforces a collective identity and a rejection of vanity. Clothes are handmade, durable, and functional, reflecting a desire to live modestly and to avoid drawing unnecessary attention. The absence of modern fashion trends speaks to a deeper philosophy valuing substance over style. Despite a commitment to separation in many aspects, Mennonites engage thoughtfully with the surrounding world. Trade and commerce allow them to sustain their communities materially, while charitable initiatives reflect their commitment to service beyond their own borders. Throughout history, waves of immigration have shaped the Mennonite diaspora. Each new settlement has brought challenges: cultural adaptation, legal struggles, and sometimes hostility, but also opportunities for renewal and growth. These experiences have forged a strong collective resilience and a commitment to preserving core values amidst change. In contemporary times, some Mennonite communities have adapted selectively, embracing certain technologies or modes of living without abandoning foundational principles. These adaptations test the balance between tradition and necessity, sparking ongoing reflection and dialogue within the community. Yet, even as circumstances evolve, the central tenets of faith, simplicity, and community remain unshaken. Mennonites continue to embody a way of life that honors the past while engaging with the present, offering a living testament to the enduring power of belief and practice. Their story challenges us to consider the values we hold dear and the pace at which we live our lives. It poses gentle but persistent questions. What might it mean to live more intentionally? How might slowing down deepen our connections to each other, to nature, to our own inner selves? In the faces of Mennonite children at play, in the skilled hands of artisans, in the quiet strength of elders leading with humility, we glimpse the answer. Their life is an invitation to find joy in simplicity, purpose in service, and peace in steadfast faith. As dusk settles over rolling fields and quiet homes, the spirit of this community endures a beacon of hope, resilience, and enduring love. It calls us to witness not just a relic of the past but a vibrant example of a lived, meaningful present. Let yourself be carried by this story, wrapped in the gentle cadence of a people who live fully, simply, and in profound harmony with the earth and one another. Through their example, perhaps we can all find a path to greater patience, deeper connection, and a more peaceful existence. Let the quiet strength of the Mennonite world fill your heart, inviting rest, reflection, and renewal. The journey continues, unfolding gently with each breath, each step, and each moment shared. The morning mist slowly lifts from the rolling fields, unveiling the serene landscapes that have cradled generations of Mennonites. In these moments, as sunlight dances softly on dewy leaves, a timeless rhythm pulses quietly beneath the surface of daily life, a rhythm born from centuries of tradition, faith, and a deliberate choice to live differently. This choice shapes every facet of existence, from the way the land is tilled to the manner in which hands are joined in prayer. Morning chores begin with a mindful presence, each action undertaken as if offering a silent prayer. The animals are fed, the earth tended, meals prepared, all with a gentleness that honors life and sustenance alike. Children, tender yet eager, step out into this world with wide eyes and willing hearts. Their education is hands-on, woven into the fabric of community life. They learn by doing, tilling the soil, crafting wooden tools, sewing garments, gifts of skill passed from elder to youth in an unbroken line. And yet, beyond the practical lessons lies a deeper teaching, one of patience and humility. They are invited to move at a pace that honors the natural world and the community bonds, to listen deeply to the wisdom of those who came before them. Throughout the day, the melody of work and worship intertwines. Songs rise unaccompanied in the meeting houses, their simple harmonies filling the air with spirit and solace. Prayers are spoken with reverence, voices united in hope and gratitude. The absence of modern intrusions, electricity, television, smartphones creates a space where distractions fade away, giving room instead for genuine presence and connection. Conversations linger longer, stories are shared more openly, and relationships deepen in ways often lost in the rush of contemporary life. Yet, this deliberate distancing from technology does not imply ignorance or naivety. Mennonites are keenly aware of the world beyond their fields and villages. They engage thoughtfully with neighbors and society at large, often contributing through skilled craftsmanship, trade, and charitable works that ripple beyond their immediate communities. Their artistry, woven quilts, carved furniture, meticulously tended gardens speaks of an enduring commitment to beauty rooted not in extravagance but in purpose and care. Each piece carries with it stories and values, crafted with intention and a deep sense of responsibility. The pace of life follows the sun and the seasons, guiding them through cycles of planting, nurturing, harvesting, and rest. Winters, in particular, offer opportunities for reflection and community gathering. Without the hum of machines to fill the silence, evenings are times for storytelling, music, and quiet companionship. Interwoven with these rhythms are the ever-present threads of faith and community. Decisions are made collectively, with great respect for elders and communal input. This approach nurtures harmony, ensuring that the needs of all are considered and that unity remains strong. Their commitment to peace extends beyond personal conviction into collective identity. Pacifism is not an abstract principle but a lived reality, shaping responses to conflict, cooperation with neighbors, and interactions with governmental systems. This commitment has often required courage, as it demands nonconformity in the face of societal pressures. The passing of seasons is marked by celebrations that reinforce community bonds and spiritual devotion. Weddings, baptisms, and religious festivals are moments of joy and reflection, affirming not only individual milestones but the strength of shared faith. Within these celebrations, music and storytelling serve as vessels of cultural memory. Hymns, sung without accompaniment, resonate with centuries of history and belief. Stories told by elders connect past to present, reminding all of the journey that sustains them. The clothing worn by community members is a visible symbol of values. Handmade garments in simple, muted tones convey modesty and a resistance to vanity, emphasizing shared identity over individual expression. This outward simplicity embodies a deeper philosophy, one that values substance over appearance, depth over surface, and unity over division. It reflects an intentional embrace of humility as a virtue. Economic life within the Mennonite world is characterized by a balance between self-sufficiency and thoughtful engagement with broader markets. Crafts and agricultural products support the community materially while providing bridges to the outside world. The Mennonite narrative is also a story of migration and adaptation. Their ancestors traversed oceans and continents, seeking religious freedom and fertile lands. Each migration brought challenges: cultural tension, legal obstacles, unfamiliar environments, but also opportunities for affirmation and growth. Despite displacement and hardship, the Mennonites have consistently re-established strong, cohesive communities that treasure faith and tradition. Across North and South America, Europe, and beyond, these communities are linked by language, ritual, and shared values. Living within the tension between tradition and modernity requires ongoing dialogue and discernment. Communities differ in their approaches. Some embrace selective technology or external education, others adhere strictly to historic ways. This diversity illustrates an engaged, living faith. The story of the Mennonites invites reflection on what it means to be rooted. In a world characterized by rapid change and fleeting connections, their dedication to place, people, and principles offers a counterbalance. It reminds us that depth often requires stillness and that lasting identity emerges from continuity. In watching their children play freely across open fields, hearing hymns rise in simple harmony, feeling the warmth of communal gatherings, we glimpse a vision of life that is intentional, connected, and deeply human. Their way of life challenges us to reconsider our own relationship with technology, community, and the environment. It poses gentle questions about pace and priorities, about the rhythms that nurture spirit and strength. As twilight settles, the quiet of Mennonite villages embodies a peace that transcends words, a peace born of faith lived actively and love expressed daily. This story lingers, inviting us to slow, to listen, and to find in simplicity and steadfastness a wellspring of hope and renewal. Here, in this unfolding narrative, we find more than history. We discover a living example of a life well lived, a community deeply rooted, and a faith powerfully sustained. Let us continue this journey, attentive to the lessons whispered through fields and homes, songs and stories, a journey into the timeless heart of the Mennonite world. As the sun rises higher over the Mennonite homesteads, the community settles into the rhythm of the day, which unfolds with purposeful calm and quiet dedication. Each moment is filled with intention, a careful weaving of labor, faith, and fellowship that carries forward traditions older than the generations now tending the soil. The experience of living without modern technology invites a kind of mindfulness rare in today's world. With no buzzing devices or flashing screens to command attention, the senses come alive to simpler rhythms, the chirping of birds greeting the dawn, the soft rustle of falling leaves in the breeze, the comforting creak of wooden beams settling in well-worn homes. Work is considered a sacred expression of devotion, whether it be repairing a fence, preparing a meal, or planting seeds in the rich earth. There is a profound respect in these acts, an acknowledgement that each contributes to the sustenance and stability of the community. The cycle of sowing and reaping is not only agricultural but deeply spiritual, a metaphor for patience, hope, and the fruits of faithful labor. Children, nurtured in these values, grow up with hands and hearts accustomed to care and cooperation. They learn through active participation, from maintaining gardens to assisting with household chores, under the gentle guidance of parents and elders. Education is woven seamlessly into the fabric of daily life, emphasizing practical skills alongside spiritual wisdom. The role of women in the community, often underappreciated in outside narratives, is vital and multifaceted. Their work in homemaking, child-rearing, education, and craft sustains the social and economic structures. Handmade quilts, meals prepared from farm-fresh ingredients, clothes sewn with precision, these contributions are blessings that nourish both body and soul. Community worship stands as the heart of Mennonite life, attended with reverence and simplicity. Churches, modest in architecture but grand in spirit, host gatherings where hymns rise without instrumental accompaniment, ancient songs that connect generations in faith. Sermons focus on teachings of peace, humility, and service, reinforcing the values that underpin communal existence. Conflict, when it arises, is addressed with an emphasis on reconciliation and forgiveness. The Mennonite commitment to nonviolence is reflected not only in personal conduct but in their broader social and political engagement. Wherever possible, they seek to resolve differences peacefully, modeling a quiet strength grounded in faith. Economic activity within Mennonite settlements is shaped by self-reliance and mutual aid. Craftsmen produce goods sought after by outsiders, yet commerce is approached with caution, ensuring that economic endeavors do not compromise spiritual or social integrity. Bartering and trading often happen within networks of trust and shared values. Despite their intentional separation, Mennonites are not isolated. They engage with surrounding communities in meaningful ways, lending aid in times of need, participating in disaster relief, and sharing knowledge. This balance between separation and service reflects a complex interplay of identity and openness. Throughout history, waves of migration have shaped and reshaped Mennonite life. Push factors such as religious persecution, land scarcity, or political upheaval prompted moves that challenged community cohesion but ultimately strengthened their adaptability and resolve. Across continents, settled folk found new lands but preserved what made them akin. These migrations have forged a global Mennonite identity, united by language, faith, and tradition, yet marked by rich local variations. Despite geographic distances and differing local circumstances, communities maintain communication and support, reinforcing a sense of global family. The tensions between tradition and modernity are navigated with care. While some communities embrace selective technology such as modern farming equipment or external education, others hold fast to stricter interpretations, preserving historical modes of life. This diversity within the faith reflects ongoing discernment and dialogue. The Mennonite lifestyle invites reflection on the values often overlooked in the frenetic pace of modernity: patience, long-term commitment, communal responsibility, and spiritual depth. It poses gentle questions about the nature of progress and fulfillment, inviting listeners to consider alternative ways of being in the world. In the gentle sounds of their villages' children's laughter, song, the cadence of labor, there is a profound testimony to a human way of life shaped by faith and intention rather than convenience and speed. Their story becomes not only a history lesson but a meditative reflection on meaning, identity, and belonging. As twilight deepens, the comforting routine of Mennonite evenings unfolds. Families gather for simple meals, sharing stories, prayers, and the warmth of companionship. The absence of artificial light means dusk leads naturally to rest, honoring rhythms that respect human limits and the embrace of night's quiet. This life, which may seem foreign to many, radiates a deep wisdom. It reveals a way to find contentment and connection, rooted in place, people, and purpose. For those who listen closely, the Mennonite world offers a mirror reflecting values that resonate across cultures and times. The journey through this story is both a step back and a leap forward, an invitation to slow down, consider, and perhaps reclaim parts of ourselves lost to speed and distraction. The Mennonite commitment to simplicity and faith is not nostalgia but a living, breathing way of life. Let us walk further into their world, open to the lessons embedded in daily routine, communal care, and spiritual devotion. In their footsteps, we find a path toward wholeness forged by time-tested values and unshaken belief. Listen to the unspoken eloquence of their lives, the humble homes, the shared meals, the communal prayers, and discover a quiet strength calling us to ponder what it means to live with intention and grace. This is a story to hold close, to revisit in moments of stillness, a tale that lingers like the soft glow of candlelight, illuminating the dark with gentle warmth. Here, amid fields and family, faith and labor, the Mennonite spirit lives on, a testament to the enduring power of simplicity, community, and unwavering devotion. Morning light filters gently through the wooden slats of simple homes, casting soft images across floors worn by generations of steady feet. In these quiet spaces, the Mennonite day begins not with urgency but with contemplation and gratitude. The hum of technology is absent. Instead, the world awakens to the natural symphony of birds, wind, and the rustle of leaves. The rhythm of communal life pulses steadily beneath the surface of these serene scenes. Task by task, moment by moment, life unfolds with purpose and a deep-seated connection to faith, land, and community. The care given to each seed planted, each loaf of bread baked, reflects a sacred mindfulness that infuses the mundane with profound meaning. Children rise early to learn through participation, their education inseparable from daily living. they cultivate not only the soil but character, empathy, and resilience. Hand in hand with elders, they absorb lessons of patience, cooperation, and reverence for the divine in every aspect of life. Slowness is not stagnation but a deliberate embrace of depth. Conversations unfold without distraction, relationships deepen through presence, and work becomes prayer, an act of humble service that nurtures both the individual and the collective. Within the modest meeting houses, hymns rise, their melodies unaccompanied yet resonant with centuries of devotion. The spoken word carries weight, offering guidance and assurance rooted in Scripture and the shared wisdom of the community. Daily interactions are marked by kindness and respect, reflective of an ethic that sees each person as a vital thread in the fabric of communal life. Decisions are made with care and consensus, ensuring justice and harmony prevail while honoring diversity of thought and experience. Simplicity extends beyond material possessions into the very way life is embraced. Attire is modest and uniform, food prepared and shared with care, work carried out with skill and gratitude. This aesthetic is not one of deprivation but of intentionality, a refusal to let excess or distraction interfere with deeper values. The Mennonite commitment to pacifism infuses community relations and extends outward as a beacon of peaceful resistance. This conviction calls for courage, especially in times of conflict or societal pressure, standing as a testament to deeply held faith. Connections to the surrounding world are maintained with balance and discretion. Trade and charity flow from a desire to sustain community while reaching out in service. This engagement does not dilute identity but rather enriches the capacity to live out faith in practical ways. Generations have weathered persecution, displacement, and upheaval, yet the continuous thread of faith, tradition, and mutual care has held strong. Each new settlement in distant lands is a testament to resilience and unyielding commitment. Language, customs, and practices act as anchors in shifting seas, creating continuity amid geographical and cultural changes. Despite spread across continents, the Mennonite network remains connected, sharing resources, knowledge, and encouragement. Contemplation on modernity reveals a community actively discerning how much change to embrace. Some adopt farming innovations, external education, or selective technologies to sustain viability, while maintaining core values, resulting in a dynamic, adaptable tradition. More than a historical curiosity, the Mennonite way offers profound reflections on the human condition. In an age defined by haste and fragmentation, their life calls for presence, purpose, and profound community bonds. Their story invites us to reconsider what is truly necessary for a good life, to embrace patience, value communal well-being, and cultivate spiritual roots deep enough to weather storms. As the day's work winds down, light softens across fields and homes. Families gather to share meals, stories, and prayers, the warmth of shared presence filling each room. In this intentional living, there is a softness, a rhythm both steady and tender that comforts and inspires. It challenges us to slow down, to listen, and to find peace in simplicity and faithfulness. Quiet nights settle over the fields, horizons glowing faintly with stars. This peace, born of conviction and care, invites all who hear it to pause, reflect, and perhaps rediscover a more meaningful pace. Through the slow unfolding of their story, a beacon shines, illuminating the path for those seeking a life less hurried but more deeply fulfilled. Let us hold this narrative close, a gentle guide and steady companion on our own winding journeys. As dawn breaks over the fields and farms where Mennonite communities thrive, the air is filled with a sense of calm purpose. The world feels slower here, governed not by the ticking clock or flashing screens, but by the rising sun and the enduring cycles of the earth. In this place, centuries-old values weave seamlessly with everyday actions, forming a tapestry of life that is both humble and profound. Each morning begins with quiet routines that set the tone for the day. Families rise early, greeting the day with prayers and reflections that ground them in faith and gratitude. The gentle sounds of daily life, cows lowing, the creak of wooden wagons, the rhythmic pounding of footsteps on dirt paths compose a symphony of tradition and tranquility. Children, unconstrained by digital distractions, discover the world through tangible experience. Their education is a living process, grounded in community participation and skilled hands-on learning. From an early age, they understand the value of labor not as a chore, but as a vital contribution to the life and health of their community. The physical work that frames each day, whether planting in the fields or preparing meals, is infused with a spiritual significance that elevates the ordinary to the sacred. There is a slow rhythm to this work, a patience and respect for natural processes that contrasts sharply with the fast pace of modern life. Meals are shared in community kitchens or around humble tables, where stories unfold alongside simple, nourishing food. These gatherings foster connection and continuity, reinforcing bonds that sustain both spirit and body. The homes where Mennonite families dwell are built not for show, but for living, a reflection of values that prize durability, functionality, and harmony with nature. Handmade furniture, homespun fabrics, and carefully tended gardens speak of generations committed to a life well lived. Clothing, deliberately plain and uniform, embodies a philosophy that rejects the fleeting allure of fashion in favor of modesty and collective identity. These choices underscore a community rooted in humility and mutual respect. The heart of Mennonite life beats strongest in moments of communal worship and fellowship. Meeting houses serve as sacred spaces where hymns, sung without instrumental accompaniment, echo ancient traditions. Sermons focus on peace, service, and devotion, threading through the days and guiding actions. Their unwavering commitment to pacifism shapes not only personal behavior but collective ethos. In a world often marred by conflict, this stance requires courage and steadfast faith, even in the face of misunderstanding or hardship. Governance within the community is guided by consensus and shared responsibility. Decisions made with the wisdom of elders and the voices of many foster unity and resilience, smoothing the path through challenges. Economic life balances self-sufficiency with selective engagement in broader markets. Craftsmanship, agriculture, and trade sustain the community materially while reinforcing shared values. Historically, the Mennonite journey has been one of displacement and renewal. From their origins in Europe to new homes across continents, their story is marked by perseverance and adaptation, always anchored by faith and shared identity. The global Mennonite community, though dispersed, remains connected by language, customs, and mutual support, a testament to enduring ties strengthened by both geography and history. Faced with constant pressures from modernity, communities navigate the balance of tradition and change, sometimes adopting innovations while holding firm to foundational principles. The Mennonite way offers a mirror for those seeking depth and peace in a hurried world. It teaches that fulfillment arises not from speed or accumulation, but from presence, purpose, and profound community. As the sun sets, casting golden light over fields and homes, families gather in quiet celebration of shared life and faith. Songs linger in the air, prayers weave through the evening, and the gentle rhythms of tradition lull the world toward rest. This story, full of hope and humility, calls us to observe, to listen, and to reflect on what truly matters. It asks us to consider the beauty of a life lived with intention, rooted in connection, and nourished by faith. Let the enduring spirit of the Mennonites inspire a moment of stillness in our own lives, a call to slow down, to cherish community, and to embrace simplicity with grace. Watching the stars emerge in tranquil skies, we close this chapter grateful for the profound lessons hidden in everyday acts of devotion, service, and love. This journey continues, a pilgrimage through time and wisdom, inviting us to carry forward the quiet legacy of a people devoted to a life well lived. In the quiet of the morning, the Mennonite day begins anew, humble yet rich, simple yet profound. There is no hurry, no rush, only the steady rhythm of life, the soft footsteps on earth, the whisper of wind through the fields. Each moment holds meaning, each task is a thread in the fabric of a community bound by faith, tradition, and purpose. The work is steadfast, deliberate, done with care that honors both earth and spirit. Hands calloused, movements measured, hearts full of gratitude. Every seed planted is a promise, every harvest a blessing, every shared meal a celebration of life and labor. Children laugh, learn, and play, their eyes bright with wonder, their spirits shaped by stories told, songs sung, lessons lived. They grow in faith, skill, and kindness, grounded in a world where simplicity is strength, and community is home. The homes stand firm, built by hands that care, walls that witness generations, roofs that shelter hope and continuity. The fabrics woven, the quilts stitched, the tools fashioned, all speak of craft, patience, and love. In the meeting houses, voices rise in unaccompanied song, hymns that echo through time, prayers that bind past to present, hearts to heart. Each note a testament to faith, each word a balm for weary souls. The Mennonite way is not merely about separation, but connection, a delicate balance of holding ancient truths and embracing necessary change with discernment. It is a path walked with humility and courage, simplicity and strength. Pacifism guides them, a light in dark times, a call to peace that transcends fear and conflict. It shapes their actions, their outlook, their place in the world, a steadfast commitment to love and justice. The governance of the community is a dance of voices, consensus born of respect and wisdom, decisions made with care for all, ensuring harmony and mutual support. Trade fills their markets with finely made goods, furniture carved with skill, quilts patterned with care, food raised with respect. Economic life supports spiritual life, each enriching the other. Their migrations paint a story of resilience seeking freedom, safety, opportunity, establishing roots anew without losing the thread of identity. Across continents, these communities thrive, linked by faith and tradition. Modern challenges are met with thoughtful adaptation, questions asked, boundaries set, a living faith alive in every choice. The pace of their lives offers a mirror for our own, a call to pause, to breathe, to find depth in simplicity, to treasure community, to nurture the soul. Evenings bring families together, around tables, in stories and prayers, in shared silence and songs. The dark is soft, stars emerge, a gentle close to sacred days. Their story, a calm river winding through time, invites us to listen, to learn, to hold dear what matters, faith, hope, love. Here, within and beyond these words, lies a legacy of peace, endurance, and grace offered to all who seek a path less hurried, a life deeply lived. May this quiet journey rest gently within you, gathering strength, inspiring stillness, nurturing dreams, in a world that so often forgets to pause. Carry with you the lessons of the fields, the hearts of the people, the songs of the soul. Let their enduring spirit be a guide, a comfort, a light in the quiet. Thank you for joining this exploration, this slow unfolding of a remarkable way of life, a people devoted to simplicity, community, and steadfast faith. May peace be with you, now and always.